Hello everyone, thanks for checking out my video. I'm going to show you how to use HWMonitor and MiningPoolHub to mine crypto using your GPU and your CPU. With the latest version of HWMonitor 4.4, it comes pre-bundled with DSTM software for nVidia cards, as well as XMRig software for CPUs, both of which are optimized for better performance. It's a great opportunity right now to get involved with mining, and why not use everything your computer has to offer. This is especially helpful for people who have a gaming machine with a nice graphics card and a decent CPU. You can leave this thing run overnight and make a little bit of extra crypto on the side. So let's get started. The first thing you need to do is download a copy of HWMonitor. I'll put a link down in the description. Come here to the download page and grab a copy of this top one here called HWMonitor Installer. Download that and install it. Next, you want to set up an account on MiningPoolHub.com. When you pick your username, just pick something that's easy to remember because you will be typing it in later on. Next, you want to get some software to help you monitor temperatures on your GPU and your CPU. I really like GPU-Z. It's very simple, it's free, and it gives you all the information that you need at a glance. The program I recommend for monitoring your CPU temperatures is HWMonitor. Again, it's free and offers everything at a glance. Here's a quick preview of GPU-Z, and you can see here it's giving me a readout of the core clock, the memory clock, the temperature, fan speeds, and everything. Right now, the card is at idle, so nothing is too hot. So this is HWMonitor. I like to use this to just get a quick idea of what my CPU temperature is. Right here in the center, you can see temperatures for each core, but the one value we're most concerned with here is the package temperature. This is essentially the average of all of the cores. That just gives you a good idea of where you are. Now, you'll want to check the documentation for your specific CPU to make sure that you're within the limits. Don't push the CPU temperature too far. You can damage it. All right, and make sure that you have adequate cooling on your CPU. XMRig is actually very efficient, so you shouldn't in most cases have much problem at all with overheating using that particular miner, but other software may cause it to overheat, so do keep that in mind. Now that we have a way to monitor temperatures on our GPU and CPU, let's configure HWMonitor. When you first install HWMonitor, you'll get the Add New Miner wizard. So let's go ahead and start adding a new miner for our GPU. I'm going to go ahead and click on Next. And you'll see some options here. The option we want is called Managed Profit Miner. Click that and then click on Next. And we're going to name this. Now I have a GTX 1080, so I'm just going to call my miner 1080. And we're going to leave the host as local. And for profit switching profile, you'll set this to whichever GPU you have. So if you have an AMD card, make sure you set it to AMD. If you have NVIDIA, set it to NVIDIA. Click on Next. And we're confirmed. Click on Finish. Great. So you can see right here it's called 1080. And there it is. Now all we have to do to configure this is tell it what coin to mine. And to do that, we have to add a new pool. So all you do is click this little new pool button up here, and you'll get this dialog box. So let's figure out what coin we should mine, huh? So over here on MiningPoolHub.com's main page, there's a readout of what the most profitable coins are. And you can configure this for AMD or NVIDIA. So since I have a GTX 1080, I'm going to click on the NVIDIA button here, and you can see how this is arranging it for my particular gear, right? So now I can see at the top here, ZClassic looks like the #1 coin, which is great. So why don't we go ahead and set it up for ZClassic, because whether you're using AMD or NVIDIA, ZClassic is a great coin to mine right now. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this, and for our description, we'll type in ZClassic-MPH for MiningPoolHub. Now, the server URL, let's go back over to MiningPoolHub and get some information. On the left-hand side where it says pools, we'll just scroll down here to where it says ZClassic and click that link. This is the ZClassic pool, and it's great. Front page here has all of the server settings. So what we want to do is copy the server address. There's 3 regions, US, Europe, and Asia. So we'll just go ahead and drag this here, right-click, copy, all right, and then right-click, paste that right there. Real simple. Now, if you want to secure the connection, what you can do is at the beginning of this address, just add SSL://, and that will make it a secure connection. Next is worker name. This is the username that you chose for MiningPoolHub. So keep in mind this is case sensitive. My username is Goose-Tech. All right, but we're not done. We're going to add a period or a dot and give it a worker name. I'm just going to call it 1080. That way I know it's my GTX 1080. The worker password is always X. All right, and underneath optional settings, let's go ahead and set the coin to ZClassic. There it is, ZCL. And by doing this, HWMonitor will give us an accurate readout of our daily profit. Go ahead and click on OK. So now all we have to do is tell this miner to mine ZClassic. So let's go up here to where it says options and then profit switching. All right, and at the top here you'll see it says enable managed profit switching. Go ahead and put a little check in that box, and then down here where it says custom pools, put a check in that box and then set this to the pool that we just added. So here it is, ZClassic-MPH. All right, and go ahead and click on OK. Okay, we're pretty much ready to start mining right now. Whether you have an AMD GPU or an nVidia GPU, the profit profile will automatically determine which software to use for the mining. However, if you have an nVidia GPU, it's not going to be set up by default to use the DSTM miner. Right now, that's probably one of the best configured and best optimized miners for the Equihash algorithm. So for all the nVidia users, there's a quick little adjustment we can make to set it up to use the DSTM miner. Unfortunately, this will not work for AMD, but it's okay. Just leave it at its default settings and you should be fine. So to set up the DSTM miner, just go over here to Options, Profit Profiles, click on NVIDIA GPU and edit. And in the box here on the left-hand side, you'll see which mining software has been chosen. Now, the default Zcash miner is the EWBF CUDA Zcash miner, and we don't want to use that one. So we're just going to turn it off. Uncheck the box and go down here, see where we have DSTM Zcash. Check that box. And then I'm going to go ahead and move this miner to the very top. That way it'll be the first one in the list. Once it recognizes that Equihash is the algorithm, it's going to choose this miner. Click on OK. OK. Right, one last step before we start mining ZClassic is to set up the wallet. So over here on MiningPoolHub, underneath where it says My Account, there is a link for wallet. So just go ahead and click on that. And this is the online wallet for ZClassic. So all the ZClassic that you mine is going to end up right here. But it's not the most secure place to store your crypto. It's better to actually offload it into an external wallet on your desktop. So you can go over here to the ZClassic website and download a desktop version of their wallet. You just click on Get Started, click on Windows or whichever one you have, and you can start downloading their wallet. Once you do and install it, then you'll have a wallet address. And you want to just copy your wallet address and put it right here where it says payment address. All right, and then you set your automatic payout threshold. I would set it probably at like 0.05, something like that. You can determine what's best for you, but That's good enough for me. Put in your 4-digit PIN and click on Update Account. And once you do that, what will happen is that whenever the mining limit hits 0.05 ZClassic, it'll automatically be sent over to your desktop wallet. That way it's offline and a little bit more secure that way. The nice thing about ZClassic is that it's set up to become a fork of Bitcoin called Bitcoin Private. And all of the ZClassic that you hold in your wallet will be exchanged 1-for-1 with Bitcoin Private. So it may be a really good opportunity to get into a new coin that has a lot of great features. Now we're almost ready to start testing, but before we do, we have to add the mining software to our antivirus exclusion list. Unfortunately, some dishonest folks out there have been using websites and advertising to secretly mine crypto without you even knowing it. And a lot of that software has been reported to the antivirus databases, and therefore they tend to flag most mining software. So we just need to exclude the list so that it won't get flagged when we try and test it. I have Windows Defender. I can't show you how to do it for every program, but most of them have some type of exclusions list. All right, I'll show you which folder to add. I'm just going to go down here to the bottom right and double click my little shield icon and go over here to Virus and Threat Protection. Click on Virus and Threat Protection Settings and scroll down to where it says Add or Remove Exclusion. Here's the exclusions list. You can see I have HWMonitor in here. Let me show you how to add this folder. It's real simple. Click the plus sign, click on Folder, and then type in %local app data %, and you see down here there's one called HWMonitor. Just click that and click Select Folder. Now the antivirus software won't prevent the mining software from running. Let me close this, and now we can click Start. So I've been running this for a while now, and it's pretty consistent with the hash rate. We can see the readout here on HWMonitor, 489. And then this is the price per day, $3.28. But the one thing I really want to point out is the temperature, 82 degrees. That's really hot, guys. Now, most people who are doing this, they want to keep the temperature down to around 60. Really, between 55 and 65 is ideal. And if you can find a way to reduce the power or the GPU core clock to get a nice balance, that would be the best way to go. So how can we do that? Well, all you got to do is go into your GPU tweak, and we'll take a look at a few things. Okay, so to just get a feel for where we are now, our core clock is at 1810, our memory is at 10,010, our fan speed's about 69%, power target's 100, so that's full power. And our temp target is at 83, which is exactly where it is. So this software is doing a really good job of keeping the temperature threshold right here. But what I've done is I've set up my own profile. So let's take a look at my user mode here. I'll click Apply. All right, and then here's what I've done. Basically, I have left the core clock the same. I have increased the memory clock, but I have reduced the power. See, the power is down to 62. So it's almost 40% less power going to the card right now. And I put my temperature target at 67. I found that that temperature target was a good balance. It didn't cause the fans to ramp up too much, and it didn't let the temperature exceed too far beyond there. So I was pretty happy with that. Let's minimize this and take a look at where we are now. Look at that, already dropped 10 degrees. It's at 71 now. And I'm still making 306. So it was really only about a 20 cents difference. The hash rate is only about 40 hashes off. That is a perfectly acceptable sacrifice in order to ensure my graphics card doesn't melt. So I hope that that was helpful in getting your GPU optimized. Now that we got our GPU miner set up, let's do the CPU. To add a new miner, click on the new miner button. That'll give us the new miner wizard. Click on next. And for this one, we're going to choose managed miner. Click on next, and let's give it a name. I'm just going to call it CPU. Miner host is local, device profile is none. Click on next. And now we're going to specify the algorithm that we're going to use. And for this case, I'm going to use Electroneum, which is the crypto night algorithm. So we're going to go ahead and specify crypto night, and then click on the buy coin button here, and we'll set this to Electroneum. Click on OK. Now for the software, click the down arrow here and choose XMRig CPU miner. All right, we can leave that on automatic download. That means that it'll automatically download updates as they are released. All right, so you can see I already have a pool for Electroneum here, but that's set up for a GPU. We need to set this one up for a CPU. So I'm going to go ahead and take you through that. Click on new pool. All right, and for this one, we're going to type in Electroneum-mph-CPU. That way I know this is the one that I want to use for the CPU. For the server URL, we're going to set a protocol here. We're going to type in stratum, S-T-R-A-T-U-M, plus TCP://, and now we need the server URL. Over on MiningPoolHub, we'll click on the little icon in the top left to get to the main page, and you'll see on the pools menu there is one here for Electroneum, so let's click that link. And our server settings are right here on the front page. They have one in the US, Europe, and Asia. So I'm going to go ahead and select the one for my region, copy that, and paste it after the 2 slashes there on the server address line. Great. Now, worker name, same as before, whatever username you used for MiningPoolHub. So mine is Goose-Tech dot, and we're going to name this CPU. And the worker password is X. And once again, for the coin, let's just go ahead and set this to Electroneum. There we go. Click on OK. And it should automatically fill that in for you. Everything looks good. Click on next and finish. Just like before, last step is to set up our Electroneum wallet. This is pretty simple to do. Over on the Electroneum pool page underneath my account, there's a link for wallet, and it's pretty much the same thing as we did for ZClassic. But the website is my.electroneum.com. Go here, create an account. They'll give you a wallet address. You just take that wallet address and paste it here like I did. Set up your automatic payout threshold. 2 may be a little aggressive for right now. I would probably set it to more like 10. So you have to decide which is best for you, and put in your 4-digit code and click on update account. And it's that simple. Now we're ready to test our CPU miner. So let's go ahead and click on start. I've been running this for a while now, and as you can see, the difficulty rating has been periodically reduced. Ultimately, that will settle somewhere around 40,000 for me, but we're already reporting a hash rate between 110 and 120 hashes per second. And that's going to be anywhere from 20 to 30 cents per day. But that hash rate is much lower because I'm recording with OBS right now. Usually it'll be somewhere in the neighborhood of about 150 to 170, which is closer to about 50 cents a day. And if you do the math, at 8 cents per coin, that's about 6 coins per day that I'll be mining with one CPU. It's a pretty cool way to gather up a bunch of coins and just hodl them for the future. And the best part about mining with XMRig is that it doesn't really affect the CPU temperatures all that drastically. Let's take a look over at HWMonitor. Now keep in mind, I am recording and mining at the same time, and my CPU is still below 70 degrees. In fact, it's averaging more around 60 degrees. It just spikes every once in a while. I have an aftermarket cooler with 2 fans on it, so that is without a doubt helping a lot to make sure that the CPU stays nice and cool. XMRig is really efficient and super optimized. I'm really happy that they chose to add this to the suite because it's making a huge difference for me, and I hope it does for you too. So I hope you found this video helpful. If so, please give me a thumbs up. And if you like what you see, be sure to subscribe and ding the bell so that you get future updates. If you've got questions about getting set up, leave them down in the comments. I'll do my best to get back to you. Or if you want, join our Discord server. We have a lot of different channels there where we talk about crypto, and then there's a lot of other users there who may be able to help with some of the more technical questions about getting set up with mining. That's pretty much it from me, guys. Thanks for watching, and happy mining. God bless.